What's up, Soul Tribe? Ben hopping back on here today to talk a little bit about performance anxiety and erectile dysfunction. I know for myself and for many of us being raised on pornography, performance is, and what that is very deeply programmed at a young age. And it's always this very external, yang-based approach, this very penetrating, hard, fast, harder, faster, more, this intensity that's behind sex that is the defining characteristic for many of us of what we think good sex is. And the funny thing is, it's very sabotaging actually to carry that understanding of sexuality, strictly associating with that very masculine approach, because we're missing out on the full spectrum of sexual experience. And we're actually oftentimes not tuned in to our feminine partners when we're approaching things from this programming. Turns out that sex is not actually anything like a porn scene, or most porn scenes, and most women are not instantly ready to get down. And foreplay is something that is just barely even touched on, or barely even used, touched on, that's funny, in a lot of these approaches to sexuality that are shown through porn. So one thing that I like to tell brothers in the beginning of their journey into more tantric approaches and Taoist approaches to sexuality is that first and foremost, you got to give yourself permission, give your dick permission to be soft. I know this is for a lot of you. You might be squirming in your seats. You might be like, no, that's my masculinity. How hard, how erect my penis is a representation of my manhood, right? There's whole industries around this with Viagra and all the other chemicals, trying to keep us having these rock hard erections as this indicator of who we are as men and how we're showing up in the world. And while it is true that a rock hard erection is a beautiful thing, it has nothing to do with the depth of orgasm we can experience. And actually, counterintuitively, the more we relax, the more we go deeper into these practices that we teach in our training programs, the more you open up your pelvic floor, the more you soften and release the myofascial tension in your pelvic floor, the more blood flow and circulation actually comes in. So you actually will have stronger, bigger, longer lasting erections by releasing the pressure for you to have that. And to think that that's even what's wanted or what's needed. So this is an invitation for each and every one of us as we're working our way out of this porn programming to give ourselves first and foremost just permission to have the full range of experience with our cocks in the bedroom. I know for myself, some of my greatest, most potent, powerful, non-ejaculatory orgasms have been with a completely soft cock, believe it or not, like full body shaking, throbbing orgasms. And generally, in my experience, it's somewhere in the mid-range, It's like an oscillation. If we're really surrendered, if we're letting go of the pressure to perform and have our dicks be rock hard, we'll notice that there are times when our dicks are rock hard, and there are times when it wanes out of that and it just wants to be more soft. And I would present it to you that this is a reflection of the energy of what's moving in the sexual space. It's by releasing the performance, not just on yourself, but on your partner, and allowing waves of peak pleasure and peak primal energy, and then noticing the shifts and riding with the shifts when the energy's coming down a little bit and going more into the tantric mode, more into the sensual mode. That's range, that's attunement to our partners and to our own bodies. So this is really what we're tapping deeper into, is just what's present, what's alive in our bodies in the sexual situation. And the more that we can just relax at everything that's unfolding, the more we can release even from the corners of our mind the worry or fear of losing an ejaculation or thinking that's a bad thing, the more it actually encourages that energy to be present when it's actually aligned. So much of this work is really psychosomatic. I talk a lot about this in the training, but so much of this is an inside-out game. And the stories that we're telling ourselves, how we're interpreting the world around us in any given moment, and especially in the bedroom, will inform our nervous systems, which will then either lock up and constrict or loosen and relax. And the more we're constricted, the more our blood flow is actually limited. So it's actually impeding our performance to be stressed. And not to mention all the other negative side effects of having a super activated nervous system all the time. And this is really, how we're showing up in the bedroom, as I say often, is a reflection of how we show up in the world. And how we show up in the world is going to show up in the bedroom. So my question to you is, when are you pushing yourself to perform? And how is that story and you not meeting your own expectations actually causing you to be sabotaged more, or allowing that inner critic to just take the driver's seat? I know for me that ran my life for a really, really long time. And when that shit ends up in the bedroom, when we've got that little voice in the back of our heads that's constantly criticizing and holding us up against a standard of basically porn, it's like what we're holding ourselves to. Oh, I'm not holding this rock hard erection. Oh, I'm not doing this thing the way that it is meant to be done, or that's successful. The more it just contracts and contracts and contracts. And this is where, there's an epidemic right now of guys who are having erectile dysfunction issues at a young age. I think it's like 40% of men under the age of 40 or something, 35, that are struggling with erectile dysfunction stuff right now. And of course, it's not just this simple psychosomatic rewiring. I would say this is a large part of it. There's also, xenoestrogens in our food and our water. The stuff that's microplastics and all the terrible stuff in our food system that is leaching out any testosterone from a man can be a huge part of this. So it can be a chemical imbalance, but what we're talking about today is primarily mental, and so my invitation to you, brother, is to, if you're struggling with, erectile dysfunction, any of this stuff, is to do a little bit of research on this stuff, or, you can message me or check out some of our training programs. We talk about this. There's tons of supplements out there that can naturally help you increase your testosterone and show up as that empowered, penetrating lover in the bedroom. Working out as well is a huge, huge thing that goes unlooked often by a lot of us. But at the end of the day, also just allowing the full spectrum from a hard dick to a soft dick in the bedroom, and to play with that energy, to feel the sensations of what it feels like to be pleasured, whether that's by yourself or with a partner, on a soft cock, like after it's been hard and then it switches to being soft. Notice what it feels like to rub around, and rub not just the penis itself, but the balls, the perineum, even the lower belly. We call this the lower dantian. It's called in Taoism. Kind of give yourself a full rub in these areas, and breathe deep and keep emptying your mind, or whether that's a partner giving you that, and just notice what subtle sensations are coming up in that space of a flaccid penis while being extremely turned on. Play with it, tease it out, instead of thinking it's wrong or thinking something's bad or off about you. Even the word erectile dysfunction, I don't even subscribe to that. I think that's putting it in this frame as if it's this performative frame, when in reality our dicks aren't meant to be rock hard all the time in sex, actually. Sure, if you're just there to rape or impregnate or be in this masculine, do the thing and get out of there, yes, that would make sense. And that's the fucked up programming that we're taking hold of and expanding into the other end of the spectrum and rewiring, which is being fully present with our partners, being fully in our bodies and feeling and rolling with the energy and allowing it to shift, not just in our partner, but in our own bodies. And that involves our dick too. So But again, getting back to it, when your dick goes soft, like see if you can, keep playing with the energy, keep rolling, focus on your partner, go back into their pleasure, and just allow it. Don't even skip a beat. Don't even make a big deal out of it. The stories we tell of what's happening is, again, what I was saying earlier. It's what informs our nervous system. And if we're telling a story that something's wrong, oh my God, what's wrong? Oh, this person's going to reject me because my dick isn't staying hard. We're creating that reality, and like that's just our own loop. The invitation is to just sit back and relax and deep breathe and even laugh, and just be like, oh man, my dick's gone soft, but I'm still feeling, I'm still feeling so much sexy energy for you, and continuing to move with it. And again, explore the sensations when you're turned on with flaccid penis, especially, like up all these unexplored areas, all the way up into the torso, up into the nipple region. I don't know if many of us guys have never explored this, but there are massive nerve endings and really subtle sensations. And if you're just tuning into this, if you're listening to it, I'm like rubbing my nipples right now on camera, and I'm like, woo, yeah, that's it. The nipples are a huge activator for our internal orgasmic energy, for the yin energy. I've recorded some other episodes about prostate work, and this is a lot of what we do in our training too. Leading with the nipple rubs on ourselves if we're doing prostate work, which this is the male G-spot. That's a huge activation, but also with our female partners as well. The nipples are hugely activating before moving into the internal space, whether that's the female G-spot or the male G-spot or P-spot, the prostate. So again, all of this conversation is funneling us towards the yin orgasms, as opposed to the yang orgasms, the ejaculatory, the default programming we received from porn. In all of our trainings, we're learning how to stretch into the yin, how to break the pattern of just this limited, external-based, hard cock porn performance, porn reenactment, I call it. Taking a break from that and exploring the tantric, the Taoist world of expanding the more subtle sensations. And as we go deeper into that, there is a deeper level of orgasm, as I talk about all the time, that can be unlocked within us as men. So, I hope this conversation's been helpful to you if you're struggling with performance anxiety in the bedroom, or any of this erectile dysfunction. I'm trying to reword that. Erectile range issues, I'd say, if anything, erectile dysfunction, in my definition, is being obsessed with a dick always needing to be hard in the bedroom. To me, that's erectile dysfunction. I'd call that, that's actually like an illness of the mind, to expect that that's normal. Like, that's not fucking normal, actually. So give yourself this permission to explore the full range, to roll with the energy. And I hope this conversation's been helpful. If you're interested in learning more about our training programs, we have a self-paced course. We have online group training. I do one-on-one work. We have a group training starting this Monday, which I'm super excited about. We have an in-person event here in Austin tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing some of you brothers there. There's an entire community here waiting for you, brother, if you're interested in diving deeper into this work. Appreciate you tuning in. And with that, I am signing off. I'll see you guys next time. Big love.